One thing really big right now is Star Wars custom action figures. Well, back in the 90s and early 2000s, Star Wars fans was making custom vintage Star Wars figures even back then. Let's take a look. Welcome back to the Junk Room. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with another video. And today, we're going to look at custom figures that were made in the 90s and early 2000s. It was really big in the early 90s and 2000s, still today, to make custom Star Wars figures. And we're going to take a look at them on card, loose, even large size action figure doll size, and even custom made playsets. It's going to be a lot of fun. I promise you that. Now, I will warn you that some of these pictures are small. We're talking about people taking photos back in the 90s and early 2000s. They didn't have a phone. It wasn't as easy to get photos from the real world onto the internet. So that's why some of these are not the best quality and kind of small. I apologize for that. And there were a lot of custom websites in the 90s and early 2000s that sadly not with us anymore, as you can see a few here. But thanks to the people over at the Star Wars Collectors Archives and websites like the Wayback Machine, we're able to still see some of these great customs made in the 90s and early 2000s. So I teased it enough. Let's take a look first at action figures loose. And here we go. Here's the Spy. The Spy, I forget his name, starts with a G, I think. The Spy looks really good as a custom figure. I like his cape and everything. Man, I really do like that one right there. And what about a Cantina member? Whoo, the Cantina member. This was a figure, I think in the 90s we couldn't wait for them to make. And then when they did make it, they put it online and made the same figure 4 times with a different instrument. What a ripoff. But it looks very good. This is a very good looking custom right here. And then we have, oh, how about this one here? Uncle Owen's and Biggs Darklighter. That's a good looking Owen figure right there. And I think it's a pretty decent looking Biggs Darklight also. I'm not really sure what head was used. Now, some of these people just popped off the head, swapped the heads. Now, if you were a kid, popping the heads off wasn't as easy as like the He-Man figures where you could pop the head and the arms off pretty easy and make your own customs. Usually, if you didn't want to break it, you had to boil these figures, get them really hot, and then they would slip off their pegs. And you could swap them out that way. So a little trick we learned in the 90s. And look at this, a Rebel Troopers. I like this guy, Ning Num right there, or Ning Nam, whatever damn name is. Got Luke Skywalker with his helmet off. Always weird how they made Luke and I think, what was it, Greedo with the hand that fit the gun really good. I don't know why they didn't do more of that. And here's another Biggs Darklighter with his cape. He looks like he's standing in front of the Mos Eisley town with the land speeder. It looks really cool. Here's George Lucas, recreating one of those famous photos of George Lucas. We've all seen him standing around with all the props used in the film. I know it's kind of hard to see. It looks kind of like a Star Trek Playmates figure. I could be wrong. And look at this. Tales of the Jedi action figure display. Custom figure and a custom display. I love this. Hasbro, take note. Hasbro, get your pen and paper out and take note. Wouldn't that look cool if you had Dark Empire, maybe issue 1 and issue 2 side by side, or maybe Dark Empire 2 side by side like there? It would look really, really cool, if you would ask me. And I don't know exactly what this is. You got a 90s Boba Fett and then this big thing next to it. I'm not really sure. I'll let you decide that one. And look at Thrawn. Thrawn was a really popular one to custom make back in the early 90s and the early 2000s. And here he is right here. He's got that little snake worm thing around his neck. And Slave Leia, of course, that's a big one everyone wants to talk about. That was one in the 90s. Oh, Slave Leia, Slave Leia. So you see this one for sale, not this one exactly, but custom made in Toy Shop magazine. People were trying to sell it. And then you got a Leia Indoor. Why did they ever do that? Why didn't they do that in the Kinder Run? And of course, Tarkin, the biggest. Why didn't they do that? Well, they did plan on it, but they never got around to it. And here's a couple Imperial dudes. I would have liked to have more Imperial dudes to make up my Death Star playset. Would have been good for that. And here's Mon Mothma with a couple of Agma Agbar type characters. And Nignum, Nagnum. Whatever his name is, there he is. And I like this one. This is one of the Rebel Guards we see at the end in the marching when they come down to get their award. I don't know why they have a blast field. I don't know. Maybe they think people are going to take pictures of Luke and Han and the flashes are going to go off and they don't want to be distracted by that. And look at this alien. One of the cool aliens from the Creature Cantina. Oh, didn't you love that scene as a kid? That was the best, man. That cantina blew your mind away when you saw the cantina scene. That looks really cool. And then we have Luke with the blast shield down. And a Leia, which I think is maybe a Hoth Leia. I'm not really too sure about that. Another Grand Armor Throne looks really good. I really like this one here. It looks really good. The body and everything looks really well. And another one, the Spy. Now, this looks like the one they did in the 90s later. They did do this one, and it looked a lot like that. And some Sand Trooper. That's another popular one, the custom back in the day. Sand Trooper. Why didn't we get that in the vintage line? I didn't even think about it back as a kid. And then we got Boba Fett, the Holiday Special. That's right, Boba Fett from the Holiday Special. And look at all these creatures right here that you saw in the canteen. You even got the devil guy with the horns. How about that? The devil was in Star Wars. The devil. And you even got that little rodent-looking guy that many people think is Snaggletooth. And here's some more Rebel Troopers in. I know it's really small, but there's some more Rebel Troopers. Luke Skywalker right there in the middle. And a big dart lighter with the removable helmet. That's pretty dang awesome right there. And we got another George Lucas. This one also looks like it's made from Playmates. Maybe it's the same figure we looked at before. Just closer up, not really sure. And Porkins. Can you believe Porkins? Yeah, who didn't love Porkins? With the removable helmet. That's always cool. I couldn't wait to get a dribble set so I could hollow out some helmets to make my own customs. Never was good at it. Never really. I tried once or two. Was pretty horrible at it. And then we got some more creature cantinas. Even got that Bo guy, Bo Shack, whatever his name is. Did a whole video on that. Did a whole video on that guy. Was trying to figure out who the actor was, and they tracked him down. And look at this, Darth Vader. I wish this was big. Darth Vader with a removable helmet. Oh, can you imagine being a kid in the 80s and having that? And then you got Grand Admiral Thrawn and some just Imperial dudes. And I think that's it right there. But don't worry, we're not done. We're not done. We're just done with loose. Whoa, wasn't those cool? Those look really cool. But did you know people even try to custom make their own 12-inch action figure line? Yeah, 12-inch action figures. Doll sizes.
Hello there, Junkman.
Look, Larry.
I thought you didn't like custom figures.
No, I have no problem with custom action figures. It's reproductions I have a problem with. Repro.
What's wrong with that? Some people can afford the real stuff.
Well, it's when you try to make them pass a float test or can't make the color just a little different. You know, something where it's really easy for us collectors to tell the difference, but close enough where people that don't really care can actually have a weapon or whatever in their collection or figure. I don't see the problem there.
You get a lot of heat for that.
Yeah, I get a lot of heat from saying that. But I don't see the problem, really. And if someone wants to buy reproductions and put them in their collection, although I don't understand it, I wouldn't tell them they couldn't do it. It just really makes collecting hard from someone that wants non-repos in their collection.
So you just want both collectors to be happy.
That's right. All I ask is, hey, if you're making reproductions, just make them a little slightly different color. And then I think both camps are happy, but people get mad when I say that.
Well, that seems very reasonable to me.
Thank you, Larry. I guess I was able to explain that, so that's good. So let's look at these 12-inch doll figures. Here we go, some bounty hunters. Everybody loves bounty hunters. Well, some bounty hunters. You got Boss. I don't know why he's like this, but he's better than I can do. You got a Forlom. Yeah, Forlom. And Warsman. Watch out, Warsman. That's a light socket behind you. Don't stick your tusk in there. You might get electrocuted. See what else we've got. We've got, this is a little, I like this. It's got some photos and custom figures at the bottom. We got a Tusken Raider. It looks like an Imperial Gunner, Royal Guard, and I guess that's Zuckuss. Zuckuss right there. Oh, this one's awesome right here. Princess Leia in a wash outfit. More black. Well, I think it'd been more brown. Like in the movie. Wasn't the movie more brown? Could be wrong. That's what I was thinking. And then we have, oh, check this out. A little scene. I like this. Got a little action scene. It looks like George Lucas. I'm not really sure. He's dressed like an X-Wing pilot. You got Luke Skywalker, of course, Princess Leia with her hair down. Finna get freaky. And I guess that's Admiral Akbar. Very cool there. And look at this. Oh, Luke. That's a vintage Luke right there. But he's wearing a diaper, a custom-made diaper with a bantha tank. That's awesome right there. It looks like some kind of droid working. I'm not really sure who the droid is. And this one here, Luke Skywalker. I almost said Han Solo. Why did I almost say that? And I think that's it. But don't worry, we're not done yet. That was, of course, large size action figures. If you don't like me saying dolls right there. They look pretty cool. But did you know people were also in the 90s and early 2000s making custom playsets for their custom figures? Hello.
Yo, what's up, Junkman? It's me, Larry.
Oh, hey, Larry.
What you doing?
I'm still recording the video.
Didn't you do a video how you hated custom figures?
Again, I have no problem with custom figures. Custom and reproductions are not the same thing. Customs, when you're doing something that's never been done before, or maybe bringing a prototype plan into a regular figure, or something that was never released. I have no problem with customs. I think customs is pretty dang cool.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Hey, is it okay if we order a pizza?
Yeah, you can order a pizza.
Extra bologna?
No, I don't want bologna on it this time.
But it was good. good.
Yeah, it was good. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Now let's look at some custom playsets. Here we go. Bantha, really famous one. I know I said playset. This is more of a creature, but still, I threw it up here anyway in this section here. But it looks pretty darn cool. And how about this one right here? A Tuck-You Station, I guess. Maybe that's Tuck-You Station, a part of the Morsha farm. So you can put your farm boy Luke. Ugh, don't say that. Farm boy. Look at this. It's supposed to be Baker's Canyon. I know it's just the Imperial Attack Base, but they painted it brown and made it Baker's Canyon. Yeah, I can see Kenner doing that. That's so Kenner, isn't it? I like it, though. It looks pretty darn awesome. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. And look at this, a major scene. Looks like something you see at Christmas time. I just threw that in there because, hey, we just got over Christmas, so it's fun to look at. And I like this one right here. Most Eisley's cardboard. It's kind of like a cardboard backdrop, and then it's got a little piece of plastic in the front. I kind of like that one. That one looks pretty darn cool. And here's a hanger with it looks like a X-Wing. I don't know if it's custom. Look, it might be some kind of custom paint job on there. It's got a little ladder that Luke uses. Where does that ladder go? Well, you know, Luke has that ladder in Dagobah. It just appears there and he climbs up it. Where does he store it? Is it stored under the X-Wing? I was never really sure about that. But there it is. Even got a custom Rebel Trooper back there watching. Give him a hand if he needs it. I don't know what that is on the floor next to Luke's foot. Maybe you do. And another Bantha. This was a really famous custom. I saw this custom a lot back in the day. But there it is right there. And that's it. But don't worry. We're not done yet. Like I said, we're not done yet. What about custom action figures on a custom package, on a card? Those are always really fun to look at. So what?
Hey, Junkman. You know, I'm still a little confused because I swear you did a video about how much you hate custom figures.
Again, no, I have no problem with custom.
Yeah, I think I remember a video you upset about them.
My video was how now it seems like people are making customs just to make money off of it. I like customs when they're made, you know, just for the love of it. It seems now there's some out there that make it so they can make a profit. They're making customs in bulk. And that just sits wrong with me.
So I shouldn't buy any?
No, I wouldn't tell anyone they couldn't do it. I wouldn't say don't buy them. Just something I just don't really care for. To me, I like seeing customs like, you know, one of a kind, maybe two of a kind, where it would seem like it was made out of love, not made to earn money. But that's just me.
But some of them will look really good.
Yeah, they look really good. People that's making custom today, don't get me wrong. I just prefer them, you know, just out of love and not out of the profit of it. And that's how I feel for some of these online people that's making them to make a buck.
Well, you make custom t-shirts.
Yeah, I guess I do make custom t-shirts. Well, let's look at custom figures in the package. Another big one that's always being customized was Han Solo and Stormtrooper outfit. Oh, Kenner, why didn't we get that? Here's how it might have well looked if they did do it on a Star Wars card. How about that on the Star Wars card? What about a rocket firing Boba Fett? I like this one. This one took did something a little different. He took the little preview figure and put it on the Power of the Force card. Looks really cool. And even has a Boba Fett coin. Even does. And look at this one. One of my favorites from back in the day. Jackson the Rabbit from the Marvel Comics. And there he is right there. Look at him. He size that down. On a Star Wars card. I like that one. Very good there. Now, Hasbro made this not too long ago in a black series. Looks horrible. They didn't make it anything like a Marvel card. I don't know what they were thinking. I like this card right here. This is the Kit Bash one from Boba Fett. Famous lost figure. Did a whole video on it. No one's ever known what happened to this prototype Kit Bash figure they call it. It was made up of different parts. One of the first looks at Boba Fett. It's pretty awesome, and I like that card design really a lot. Oh, here we go. We got the droid from the white 3PO that's in all the movies. I know it's in Empire. I think it's in Jedi. Is it in A New Hope? I'm not really sure. And a Sand Trooper. Always got to have a hand. That's a good-looking card right there. I like those. And back to Han Solo. There's one on the Power of the Force. Probably the picture Kenner would have used. I think they would have used that one. That one looks really good. Even has a little head up in the corner up there. I like that instead of just thrown in the bubble. And Sand Trooper, like I said, I like this card. That Sand Trooper looks really, really good. And that card I really do like also. And look at this one. Everybody talks about this figure. Ula, Allah, whatever her name is. She likes to dance. She likes to show off her belly. And that's a good looking card if you ask me. And another Sand Trooper card. I like this one. I like the other Power of the Force one a little better though. I like that it's a custom series on it. Here's Luke Dagobah, which is a Luke figure, and he's got the backpack for Luke, and a big Starklighter on card. And I wish it didn't have Luke's hand on the card. That's my only complaint with that one right there, but I know people was probably limited to what photo they could use, especially back then. And check this one out. Bantha take Luke Skywalker on card. I guess the custom guy didn't finish because he doesn't have a head, but he's wearing his big old diaper. That's for sure right there. And how about this? Whew. The rebel that gets choked. That's right. Captain Antilles. Was that Captain Antilles? I believe so. Got choked by Darth Vader. I like that card. I don't like the nameplate. Had to be moved down to the bottom. Kind of bugs me that it is on a Revenge of the Jedi card. I'll see that. And here's Biggs again, but on a Power of the Force card. Looks pretty cool, and I like this. You can see Luke on this one. I like this one. This one looks pretty neat. And that's it. I think that's it. Are we done yet? Well, almost. And I said almost because I didn't want you clicking off the video. Well, that's it. It's pretty decent looking customs. Now, I'm guessing it's easier today with 3D printers. I don't know. I hear about 3D printers. I don't know really what they do. I know they print stuff. I know you can make stuff with it. I think you still got to paint the figures and stuff. I'm horrible at painting, so I'm not really sure what they do. I don't have one. Never. I've only seen them online. So, but they look pretty darn cool. This is, of course, from the 90s and early 2000s, and people was making customs back then. Hell, they was probably making them in the 80s, and they're still making customs today. And they look pretty darn good today also. But something about those I really do love also, and I wanted to make sure you old school guys that making custom, you got some love. So there you go right there. Well, I want to thank you for watching. As always, thumb up so you like my content. Subscribe to the channel. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.